ازيكم? Welcome to Folktales from Sudan. I'm your storyteller, Hana Baba. Today's story is called The Cats and the Mice. As always, the story is told in English with some Arabic mixed in. And remember, turn down the display and just listen. Okay, يلاكم, let's go. قالوا كان في. Once upon a time, in a village, there was a big house, and that house had a big hosh, a yard. Now that hosh had lots of critters that called it home. There were big cats and there were little mice. The cats roamed around the yard freely, while the mice had to stay in their home, a hole in the wall, or else the cats would catch them. Every day, the cats would try to catch the mice, and every day, the mice had to be smart and escape from the cats. They would run out to get something to eat, but then they'd have to run back quickly before the cats could get them. The mice were a family. They had a grandma, Haboba, and a grandpa, Jiddu. They were wise grandparents, and they always knew the right thing to do. But sometimes the mice children just would not listen. One day, the cats were roaming around the hosh, hungry. They wanted something to eat. The sneaky leader of the cats said,
I have a new idea that would bring the mice out. Let's pretend we went to Hajj, the pilgrimage, and that we came back and that we promised to never eat mice again. Then they'll come out to congratulate us on our Hajj. Good plan, right?
Ooh, the cats liked this idea. The next day, all the cats dressed up like they came back from Hajj. They wore clean white jalabiyas, caps that were square and decorated. They held sibah, prayer beads, in their paws, and they marched all around the hosh, and they began to clap and sing this song.
حجينا وجينا فقراء بطواقينا لحم الفار حرمنا كان يحير وما بنخشى.
They were singing, we just came back from Hajj with our hats on our heads. We've promised never to eat mice again, and we will never go near a mouse's hole. Clapping and marching around al-hosh.
حجينا وجينا فقراء بطواقينا لحم الفار حرمنا كان يحير وما بنخشى.
They marched up and down and all around, watching the mouse hole with the corner of their eyes to see if their plan worked and if the mice would come out. Now the mice heard the clapping and they heard the singing, and a small one was so curious, he just wanted to peek out the hole. Just one peek. But the Haboba mouse said,
Oh, Wakum, nobody go outside. Those cats cannot be trusted. Remember, they're trying to eat us.
The little mouse said,
But they just came from Hajj. Isn't it the tradition that we should go congratulate them?
Haboba said,
These cats are not to be trusted. Just stay in here.
And the mice stayed. The cats got tired of marching and clapping and singing all day. Soon the sun set, and they were so tired they all went to sleep. The next day, the sneaky cat leader had another idea to lure the mice out from their hole. He called all the cats and said,
Let's pretend one of us died, and it's their funeral. Surely the mice will come to give condolences and pay their respects, right?
Ooh, the cats liked this idea. The sneaky cat said,
Okay, I'll play the dead one.
all the cats pretended to cry. They were marching around the hosh, 3 of them carrying the sneaky leader who was lying down, pretending to be dead. They carried his body up high in a white cloth, a shroud, like they were going to bury him. And everyone chanted,
مات الحاج رجل بالصويا مات الحاج رجل بالصويا. Our elder father has died. Our elder father has died.
They marched around the hosh, pretending to be sad and crying, chanting and wailing and stomping their feet loudly. Meanwhile, the sneaky leader slowly opened one eye, and he moved the piece of fabric, the shroud, to take a peek out of it and to see if his plan was working. The cats continued,
مات الحاج رجل بالصويا مات الحاج رجل بالصويا. Our elder father has died. Our elder father has died.
The mice heard the crying and the wailing, and it was the tradition that when there's a death in the neighborhood, everyone goes out to pay their respects and give condolences. So one of the mice said,
Oh, the cat that just came back from Hajj yesterday died today? We should go out and pay our respects.
But the grandfather mouse, Jiddu, he warned them, and he had a chant of his own. Because Jiddu had noticed the sneaky leader peeking out of his fake shroud. Jiddu said,
أبكوا بكايا بخطركم خلوا بالكم في جحركم شوفوا الحاج كيف بنظركم.
He said, cry if you want, but cry quietly and stay in your hole. And look at how that Hajj is looking at you.
أبكوا بكايا بخطركم خلوا بالكم في جحركم شوفوا الحاج كيف بنظركم شوفوا الحاج كيف بنظركم.
The mice then saw the sneaky leader peeking out.
Sneaky old cat, trying to trick us into leaving our hole?
But as the cats marched on, the smallest mouse, who was curious and mischievous, he came up with a clever idea. He whispered,
Haboba, Haboba, Grandma, they always play tricks on us. What if we played a trick on them? What if we make them believe that we're having a celebration? Then they'll be the ones who can't resist coming to us. And then we can play a trick on them.
Haboba chuckled.
شاطر يا ولدي. Ooh, you're a sneaky one. Let's give it a try.
The mice scurried around their hole, gathering anything that could make a noise. Jiddu grabbed a small metal spoon, Haboba found a lid to bang, and the little mice squeaked their best festive chants to pretend there was a party going on.
يلا يلا الحفلة قامت في جحرنا الفرحة حامت يلا يلا الحفلة قامت في جحرنا الفرحة حامت.
They were singing, "Hooray, hooray, the party is on. There's joy in our mouse hole tonight."
يلا يلا الحفلة قامت في جحرنا الفرحة حامت يلا يلا الحفلة قامت في جحرنا الفرحة حامت.
The cats stopped in the middle of their fake funeral.
What is going on in there?
Asked one cat. The sneaky cat leader sat up, throwing off the white shroud.
Deshanuda, what is going on? They're throwing a party? A party when there's a funeral? They are mocking us.
One of the cats said,
Should we go and take a look? Of course,
said the leader.
We can't let them have fun without us.
The cats all crept towards the mouse hole, sniffing curiously. But as soon as they got close to the hole, splash! A bucket of water was balanced carefully by the mice, and it tipped over and drenched the cats in water. The cats yowled and scattered in all directions, slipping and sliding across the yard in a big mess of mud. The mice burst out laughing. Haboba called out,
Hey! Rashanakum! We tricked you! Yalla, Abshir and Hana, get out of here! Maybe next time you'll think twice before trying to trick our family.
The sneaky cat leader was soaked in water and defeated. He shook his fur angrily and he said,
We'll get you next time.
But his tail drooped and he trudged away slowly. The mice went back to their hole and kept on partying.
يلا يلا الحفلة قامت في جحرنا الفرحة حامت يلا يلا الحفلة قامت في جحرنا الفرحة حامت.
They were dancing and dancing. And from that day on, the cats never dared to mess with the mice again. والقصة انتهت. The end.
يلا يلا الحفلة قامت في جحرنا الفرحة حامت يلا يلا الحفلة قامت في جحرنا الفرحة حامت يلا يلا الحفلة قامت في جحرنا الفرحة حامت.
Thanks for listening to Folktales from Sudan. All the stories in the series were adapted from stories I heard from members of my family, handed down from generation to generation. And this project is dedicated to our official family storyteller, my dear uncle, Elbagir Gaafar. Thanks to our production team, our main story consultant and editor, my mother, Nawal Gaafar. Our music is by Rami Elbagir, Muhammad Jamal, Ahmed Al-Ijil, Hassan Rabi' and Khalid Al-Mahi. Our episode art is by Waddah Eltahir. Graphic design team is Eman, Hajali, Rudaina, Osman, and Layla Bilal. This story was sound designed by James Rowlands of Roof Dog Studio. Find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and we'd love to get your ratings and reviews. And engage with us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Folktales from Sudan. I'm your storyteller, Hana Baba. Yalla, see you in the next story. Ma'as salama.